everyone. This lesson we will study the understanding and prevention of bagworm moth pests. First, let's learn about the tea garden bagworm moth. The bagworm moth belongs to Lepidoptera bagworm moth family, also known as pocket moth, cloth bag beetle, death avoidance moth. The bagworm moth of tea tree in China has recorded more than 20 species in 11 generations. The common hosts include over 100 plants: citrus, loquat, apple, peach, camellia, oil tea, mulberry, jujube, and chestnut. The body of the bagworm moth is small to medium, dioecious, and the larva and the female adult have lifelong negative capsules, which are woven by the larva spinning, and are provided with orifices at the upper end and the lower end, wherein the upper orifice is used for the larva to stretch out for feeding and crawling. The lower orifice is used for the larva to hatch, and the male adult to climb out after emerging. The female adult does not turn into moth. It is maggot-like and has small head. Lives in negative capsule all its life. Male adult is moth with dim body color. The forewings are dark gray to brown and has a short life. It is not easy to be found in field. Larvae body is obese and wrinkled with dim color. 3 sections of back plate on chest are hard, smooth, and stained. Chest foot is developed, and abdominal foot is short. Larvae feeds on the back of leaf blade, also damages shoot cortex and young peel. When young, it bites mesophyll and leaves an upper epidermis, forming irregular translucent spot. When growing up, it feeds on leaves, leaving irregular holes on them with obvious damage center. When the occurrence is more frequent, the tea bush leaves are bitten and eaten into holes, and the damaged leaves are easy to fall off. When the occurrence is severe, partial leaves can be eaten up. Only bald branches remain. Even tea tree death can be caused. The bagworm moths on the tea tree mostly have 1 generation per year. The tea small bagworm moths have 2 generations per year. The tea bagworm moths have 1 to 2 generations per year. The bagworm moth couple has incomplete 2 generations. The larvae are hatched mostly in the afternoon. Feed on eggshells in capsules for 1 to 2 days after hatching. Then they gush out from the lower hole of the gallbladder in batches. Spun silk droops and drifts to the nearby tea trees with the wind. The main species of the tea garden bagworm moth include the tea bagworm moth, the large bagworm moth, the tea browning bagworm moth, the tea small bagworm moth, the white bagworm moth, the conical bagworm moth, the silk pulse bagworm moth, the small thread bagworm moth, and the like. We focus on understanding the bagworm moth. The core sac is spindle-shaped. The adult length is 25 to 30 millimeters. The silk is soft and grayish yellow. The cyst is full of truncated branchlets, which are arranged in parallel and in longitudinal rows. The adult male moth has a body length of 11 to 15 millimeters. The wingspan is 20 to 30 millimeters, is uncovered to be dark brown. The chest and back scaly hair is long, forming 3 dark longitudinal stripes. The female moth has the shape of a maggot. The head and chest are red-brown or brown. The abdomen is opalescent. The body length is 12 to 15 millimeters. The eggs are oval and yellowish white. The length is 0.6 to 0.8 millimeters. The adult larva has a body length of 16 to 26 millimeters. The head is yellowish brown and has a black-brown parallel twill on the cranial. The body is dark meat red to grayish yellow brown. The body length of the male pupa is 10 to 13 millimeters, coffee to rose color. The female moth has the shape of a maggot and cocoon and has the color of brown. The length is 14 to 18 millimeters. According to the biological characteristics of the tea bag moth, there are 1 to 2 generations a year in most places in China, in Fujian, Guangdong, and Taiwan, 3 generations per year. All of them overwinter as non-mature for 2 to 4 instar larvae. When the temperature gets a little higher, they begin to damage, which is harmful to local spring tea. Non-overwintering generations damage from July to August, endangering summer and autumn tea. After hatching, the larvae stay in the mother sac for 2 to 3 days, eat the eggshell, and then gush out from the mouth of the mother sac in batches in the afternoon, or crawl or spin silk to float to the branches and leaves, then build a coir sac to protect the body. First, spit silk around the chest as a silk ring, bite the leaf shavings like a collar, and then move back and lengthen, covering the whole insect body. The occurrence of the tea bagworm moth is related to the temperature, wind, rain, and light of the environment. The warming in early spring is related to the hazard of overwintering larvae's resuscitation time. After February, when the temperature rises to 10 degrees Celsius, they begin to overeating. The overwintering buds of some tea trees are often eaten up. The bagworm moth is protected by cocooning sac, which is relatively drought resistant. However, the rain and humidity will hinder its feeding activities, and the sac is closed and prone to diseases. The impact of rain often causes a large number of newly hatched larvae to die early. The wind can help the young larvae to spread from the trees to the tea garden. The tea garden, close to the street trees, often has more insects. Light mainly affects the insect population on the tree. The larvae like light, gather on the branches and tops. According to the examination on the peach tree, the insect population within 30 centimeters from the top of the peach tree accounts for 60.5%. The number decreases downward. Natural enemy is an important factor, restricting the occurrence of tea bag moth. Common natural enemies include mothwort bee and wild silkworm blackwort bee, pine caterpillar verrucous wasp, red-tailed parasitoid fly, etc. A variety of ladybugs and spiders prey on the first instar larvae, and birds peck at the larvae in the sac. In the rainy and wet season, bacillus infection frequently occurs. The prevention and control method of tea bag moth focuses on identifying the occurrence center for tea bag moth and kills it in the initial stage and the larval stage. It can be checked line by line in winter to remove the sac, or by biological control method, spraying Bacillus thuringiensis or Beauveria bassiana solution at the concentration of 50 to 100 million spores per milliliter in the juvenile larval stage, spraying at the cocooning sac properly, and combining with the cultivation of forest fruits to attract beneficial birds and insectivorous insects. That is the main content of this lesson. Are you clear? See you!